Hi, everybody. This is Barbara Mayerson from joyandsuccess.com. And I'm here with Tom Reilly, who is a very positive speaker. I don't know too much about him, but my assistant Shelly does, and she loves him. So she asked me to interview him. So he's here with me today. And thank you so much for joining me today, Tom.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so as I said, I really don't know very much about you, but I trust Shelley. I know that she loves you, and so I want you to just explain to me what you do, how you got started, and if I I may jump in with a question or two. So take it away.
Sure, absolutely. That's a lot. What we do and how we got started. So what we do is we're running an organization where we are teaching people active path, law of attraction, and manifestation, so that they can start creating the changes they want in their life. We're then taking that one step further by not just empowering these people to change their own lives, but bringing the people together as like a team or an army, so that they can combine their focus and their energy on common and each other's goals to help each other manifest changes in their own life, in their communities, and even the world, because there's strength in numbers. And the more people you have focused on a common goal, the more you can get done.
Yeah, that's definitely just absolutely true, especially now. And
Yep.
there's even though the personal development world is big, but it's really very small compared to the rest of the world. And I know we have to keep our vibrations up high so
Yep.
we can heal the people that are scared and unhappy and all that stuff. So what exactly do you do? That's a great, starting out immediately what you do, how you do it. But so how do you do it? What exactly do you do?
Well, there's a few things. First of all, we teach active path law of attraction, which is slightly different than, well, actually very different than the common popular teachings of manifestation you see everywhere. There's some major differences between active path and what we refer to as passive path. How we get to get people together as a group. We'd be mainly focused on Facebook. So we do have a Facebook group. It's called the Power Manifesting Inner Circle. We just started in October. There's 7,600 members now.
Wow.
So we have regular live sessions where we do instruction, where we do Q&As to answer questions. And at least a couple of times a week, we have group manifestation sessions where we come together. There's a led manifestation session. People have their requests, the things they're focusing on, and we run the session in such a way that people are focused on helping themselves and combining their energy to help each other. And the people have been having great results in the group. Some people, started in October, started having results right away. Some people, it takes a little longer to get the techniques down and get things moving. But the amount of success we've had for the size of group we are in comparison to other groups is pretty spectacular.
Well, that sounds great. It's like people asking questions and connecting with what they want. And then are there specific techniques that you teach them that are
Yes.
different than regular manifestation law of attraction? So
Yes,
can you
absolutely. There's
give
some
me
fundamental things we do differently, which we can touch on. But as far as the manifestation sessions, yes. So we have a few different types of sessions on the group. Uh, what we call foundations training, which is just reviewing foundational principles and techniques people need to learn. All of this is free, by the way. Everything you need to learn is absolutely free on the Facebook group. So there's videos, there's documents, everything you need. We're just here to empower people. Then we have Q&A sessions, which is open forum. People ask what they want. We do our best to answer them. And then for the group manifestation sessions, it's a live Facebook live session. People will say in the comments what they're trying to manifest, who they're manifesting with. So maybe Jane knows Scott from the group and says, I'm with you, we're manifesting together. Or some people will focus on an entire category, let's say financial independence, great job, new business, fabulous relationship, and they'll include everybody else that's on that session that's in that same category with their manifestation. And the way we lead it, we combine our power, we combine our energy, we really boost things up. People report all sorts of experiences, from physical sensations, tingling, heat, losing touch with their body. Just it's a really, really energizing experience that a lot of people love. And we have people around the world, and people will set up their alarms for like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning in India to attend these
Wow.
sessions. It's pretty amazing. The group of people who has gathered is remarkable. They're supportive, they help each other, they care about each other, they're making friends. I know, I am members of lots of other groups and forums and stuff, and if people ask questions, they get answered. They're not jumped all over, they're not gaslighted or anything like that. It's a really, really, we're really happy with the group of people who has gathered there. It's a really, really amazing thing.
Well, that sounds wonderful. I may jump in there and join it too.
Oh,
When,
please do.
are there now the techniques? You said there were specific techniques that people have
Yeah.
to learn.
Yeah.
Can you run by a few of them for us?
Sure. So there are 5 core techniques we do. There's 2 major and 3 minor techniques. Okay, so the 2 major techniques are actualization and emotional reversal. Those are like the engines that fuel the manifestations. So manifestations are fueled by emotional energy, right? So when you're feeling good, positive, or can generate positive emotional energy about your goals, we use actualization. You can think of it like visualization on steroids. Okay, it's really, really amped up, focused, powerful form of visualization, if you want to think of it that way. It's the easiest way to relate to it. Now, something that really differentiates active path is that we don't, emotional energy is emotional energy, and it's what we use to fuel our manifestations. And in active path, that can be the positive emotions or the negative emotions. If you have strong negative emotions, what we do is we tap into all that energy instead of suppressing it or holding it inside, which is not healthy. And we release it in a controlled manner of positive creation into our manifestations. So you take that abundance of energy and you refocus it into positive creation and use that energy to fuel your manifestations. And so if you're feeling good about your creation, what you're doing, feel joyous, we use actualization. If you're feeling the stress, the doubt, the fear, the anxiety, we tap into that, refocus it, and that's an emotional reversal. And that is a game changer. A lot of people who learn the emotional reversal technique, they're relieved of stress, anxiety, bodily pains, emotional burdens they've been carrying for years. And it can be such a burst of energy that can really create really fast, large changes in your life pretty quickly. It's a real game changer, because instead of avoiding your negative emotions or pretending they're not there or suppressing them, which is really, really, really bad, we're using that energy to move ourselves forward instead.
I mean, that's really fascinating because I'm a big tapper.
Oh,
And
I love tapping. Yeah, tapping's great.
yeah, I mean, it's like obviously, as you know, like getting the negative out, like just facing the negative and letting it go. And I think so many people do suppress it, the negative. They don't want to see it. They don't want to feel it. And they suppress it, and it just doesn't help. So what you're doing sounds fascinating, getting that negative stuff.
People love it. It really is a game changer, because I know I spent a lot of years, especially in the law of attraction world, thinking, having a bad thought is the worst thing. Having a negative emotion is the worst thing. It's going to grind the universe to a halt. It's going to stop my manifestations. So I was scared of being scared. I was stressed out about being stressed out. I was worried about being worried. And I was pretending to feel good when I really wasn't.
Right.
Pretending to be happy when I was really scared, fearful, doubtful, stressed. And like you said, that suppresses all the emotions. So that's the worst thing.
Yeah.
If you have negative emotions, a great thing to do is, like you said, release them, right? Very Buddhist. Or for tapping, it's great. It can clear the physical blockages in your body and your energy. I like tapping. And releasing it is good because, okay, you feel better. The negative emotion's gone. I can move in. I'm healthier. That's great. We take that another step further, and instead of just releasing the energy, actually using it to propel us forward.
How do you do that?
It's the emotional reversal technique. You know, there's steps and stages to it. We have, you know, again, free videos on the group page that walk you through the entire process.
Mm-hmm.
But first, you have to validate your negative emotions. You have to tap into them, which can take a little bit of practice. Like especially people who have been in the law of attraction world for a while, I find, you know, they have been suppressing. They have been separating from those emotions,
Mm-hmm.
right? So to trust that the energy is there and release it can take a little bit of practice. You validate it, you tap into it, you basically stir it up. And then there's a process that you go through, mental process, where you figure out where to refocus it. And once you figure out where to refocus it, you release it towards that. And it's a positive release for a positive change in your life. And it can have drastic effects, but
It sounds
something you really have to go through to, you know,
and
but
everybody's very supportive of each other, and that people are afraid to like say what they're feeling, and you have a lot of people that are shy and don't say anything. Just
well, we don't usually do this exercise in a group because you're right. It can be very personal. Uh, you know, a lot of people in the group have been in some very toxic situations, some very bad situations. Obviously, a lot of people have. And so it's something you do on your own in private. So that's why there's a video you follow along with that leads you through the exercise, and people do it on their own. If they want hints and tips, like I'm not getting good release, I get to this part and get frustrated, then we always help them out, right? They message us or we discuss it on the group, but the actual exercise is usually done in private because it can be, as you so insightfully saw right away, it can be very, very personal,
yeah.
right? But the actualization sessions where it's the positive energy, those we do as a group.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. And like you said, there were three minor. So those are the two
Yep.
uh, major ones.
Major.
And you've got three minor ones. What are
Three
the
minor ones, yes.
three minor ones? What are
So
the
there's a
three minor ones?
social mirror exercise, which is very simple, easy to learn, takes a little bit of practice, but it can have a profound effect, even though it sounds really simple. But that is, I don't know how much explanation I should go into here, although it's easy to learn, there's a lot behind it. But it really uses the fact that we're a social creature and the feedback from the group is pretty vital to us. That's pretty much ingrained in our instincts for most people. And using that to be what we want to be in the present moment.
Mm.
And it's using perceived feedback from the actual people around you that you are what you wish to be. And the first time you try it, usually people get a physical sensation that's no, that's not me, imposter syndrome, right? That's not what I am. So let's say you want to be wealthy, you perceive receiving feedback from all the people around you, actual people, where you actually are, right? Grocery store, movies, driving down the road, at home. They don't have to know what you're doing. You're just perceiving the feedback from them. They're thinking about you as the wealthy person. They're seeing you, recognizing you, greeting you as the wealthy person, speaking to each other about you as the wealthy person, the business owner, the person in the great relationship. Because we have evolved with the feedback of the group being so important to our survival, that can have a profound effect on us physically and spiritually and mentally. And usually when people first practice it, there is that imposter syndrome, that's not me. But quickly, as you continue to do the exercise, that gap closes and you get closer and closer to being what you want to be in the present moment. So at first it's no, that's not me. And then it's, oh, that could be me. And yeah, that's me. And then it's, yeah, of course people are reacting that way because this is who I am. And that's when you're being what you want to be in the present moment.
Wow.
So that's the social mirror exercise. It's simple, easy to learn, but can have profound effects.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That sounds great. What are the other two?
The other two are proper appreciation and taking physical action, which you may say isn't a technique, but is missing from not all, but some law of attraction instruction. That you really have to, you know, take advantage of the opportunities you create around you and take action and make things happen. It's the physical action is the trigger on the gun, right? It's what turns probabilities into realities. And you can manifest all the opportunities, connections, coincidences, resources you want, but if you don't leverage them, then you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, no, I know action's a really important thing that,
Yes.
do you teach people how to, is it inspired action or just do anything just to get yourself out and out there in the world?
Great question. It's taking action in the direction of your goal, right? Don't worry, you got three options in front of you. Yeah, sure. Try and make a wise choice, but don't sweat over it. Do one, right? Take the next step on the path that is presented to you. Um, you could say inspired action. I don't like to use that term because some people mean it a very specific way and some people mean it in a very general way. And you've been in the law of attraction world for a while, and some people interpret that as inspired action as being only do things that feel good for you,
Mhm.
only do things that make you happy. If you're feeling stressed about it, if you're procrastinating about it, you shouldn't be doing it anyway. And that's not what we teach, because if you're creating major changes in your life, if you're creating something large, you're going to have to step outside your comfort zone. You're going to have to try some new things, learn some new things, do some new things, make yourself vulnerable. And those aren't always comfortable things. If you're only doing what you're comfortable with, you're probably not moving very far forward,
So it's just,
right?
I guess, getting an idea that pops into your head. Oh, I should do this, or like whether it's good or not, or whatever. Just get out there.
Just
Just
get out there, take action. You know, when we're manifesting, the main thing we're doing is drawing resources to ourselves that we need to create the change we want in our life.
mm-hmm.
That could be the energy we need to create the manifestation. It could be the resources, people, knowledge, information, ideas, inspiration, coincidences, mentor, financial resources, all that stuff you need, right? You draw to yourself so you can create the change you want, but then you have in the life changing your life you want, but then you have to create it. You have to leverage those resources by taking action. And as you probably know, a lot of people will say, well, how do I know which way to go? Well, don't do anything foolhardy, right? Don't do anything dangerous. But if you have an equal option of A or B, pick A or B, because whether you go A or you go B, there's going to be challenges. You're going to need more resources. You're going to have hurdles to overcome. And whether you choose path A or path B, you're going to be able to draw those resources you need to yourself based on those situations and continue moving forward. As long as you're moving forward, taking action towards in the direction of your goal is what we say. So let's say you want a new house, requires more finances. You don't want a house you're going to get kicked out of in a month, a house you can support and have for a long time. And you start getting job offers or business ideas. Well, those can be related. That could be actions in the direction of your goal, because that could increase your finances, get your house, right? Now, if you wanted to get a house and baking bread would be an action, but it wouldn't be in the direction of your
right.
goal.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm. Well, interesting. So, how did you get it? Is this your creation, the active path, or is it something? Because I never heard of it. That doesn't.
No, the that title, active path, is something I have synthesized for it. But no, I had the fortune of having a few interesting teachers come into my life. You've asked before how I got into this, so I was a law of attraction teacher, practitioner, student, coach for about a decade. And I'd get sporadic results, sometimes no results, success in one area, success in another. But and although I get success in some areas, I did hit a downward trend. So I ended up in a toxic relationship, toxic marriage, that drove me into a bit of a depression, where I was lying on the couch with
Mm-hmm.
scotch in one hand. Got to the point where I couldn't pay my bills. Owed the government $70,000.
Oh, wow.
And on my couch one night, just I tripped over. Sometimes you do things by accident without knowing it. I accidentally did an emotional reversal. I had all this years of negative emotion in me, misery, depression, frustration, just built up over that whole time. And
Mm-hmm.
it just blew out of me. And I don't
Mm.
even know how long it went for, but to me, it was this golden beam of just pure energy, just beaming out of me. And all that negativity just spewed out. And afterwards, like, I felt good. I felt amazing. I felt refreshed. And that was enough of an energy burst that some people heard it and responded to it, and helped me
Wow.
and taught me some new things that I had never heard of before, that I had never learned of before, that I resisted a lot. But then they had me break myself down one day, challenging all my closely held beliefs at that time. And that's what kind of cracked my mind finally open to starting to actually learn things instead of just hear them. And so it took me a while to learn what I learned, and then I had to synthesize it down to into a form that was simpler to learn, quicker to learn, so I can spread it and propagate it. And that's what I'm doing now.
Well, I mean, that's really interesting. And I think that other people would really benefit from what you're doing. And, like, I think like everything else, like, um, so many people have to get to the bottom and then they turn their own lives around and then they can help other people.
Yeah,
And so that sounds like
exactly.
that's what happens
And
to
now,
you.
so now I'm in a extremely happy marriage. The best thing I've ever manifested is my current
Oh no, I'm losing you again. Um,
she's my partner, she's my soulmate, my husband. Instead of being depressed on a couch, I'm controlling my life, my future.
Tom, are you back?
I'm back. Where did I cut off?
Yeah, I lost you again. Can you go talk to me about your relationship again? Because I lost you with that one.
Okay, I was just saying, yeah, so the best thing I ever manifested is my current marriage. My wife, she's my puzzle piece, my soulmate. It's the most deeply loving relationship I've ever had, and it's also the easiest because we're just ourselves, and she helps run the organization. Um, and yeah, and now I'm, instead of lying on a couch depressed, I'm in control of my life and my future. Instead of having over $70,000 in debt and not being able to pay my bills, I'm debt free and financially abundant. And now we're teaching other people to do the same in the group. And the success stories that people post in the group are all saved in a folder there, so you can go in and see them, be inspired. There's been small things, such as some money, relationships, lawnmowers, cars. There's been jobs, there's been a marriage, there's been businesses started, businesses growing. One gentleman created $100 million business
Wow.
opportunity for himself. So there's a whole range of things people have accomplished in the group, and it just started in October.
So what did you do in between? I mean, how long have you been married? And then when you got off of the couch and found your wife, and how long did
Yeah,
it take before things turned around?
yeah. So my wife and I been married for 2 years. We've known each other for 5, right? Um, and so after I got off the couch, it took me a while to learn stuff. I was stubborn and closed-minded. They were challenging a lot of things I had learned and practiced and taught for like a decade. So it was hard for me. I can be an extremely stubborn person. And then my second largest emotional reversal was about my relationship status, and I blew that out. And 3 weeks later, I met the woman who is now my wife,
Wow.
and we were like two trucks hitting, and that sounds wonderful, but it's a crash. Right? So we had some stuff to get through, right? Because I had baggage and she had baggage, but with what I had learned, I held things together, and she lived in a city like 2.5 hours from me, and we were in totally different social circles. There's no way we should have met. But now, we live happily in my little city here. And things are good. And
Well,
then financially, things just started getting better and better and better and better. And now we're like
well, I guess it's the
really
way you feel
comfortable.
about yourself and your life, and then that's how things turned around. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That she's really changed my life too. Yeah, we're puzzle pieces. We fit together so well, and everybody in the group knows her and loves her, and yeah, everyone's always loving on Alexi.
well, well, that's great. So everything is done on Facebook, and do you just do Facebook Live, and uh,
Yeah,
then people just ask questions, and is there emailing going on, or everything is just with Facebook?
everything's on Facebook. It's
Mhm.
free platform, right? Which makes it easy for us to provide everything for free. So you can go in there. There's a documents folder with documents you can read with foundational information. Then we do have three types of live sessions. So we'll be on live, and other people will join the live, and several are held every week. So there's a Q&A session, which is question and answer, where I have no agenda. I'll just come on, people ask questions about the techniques, principles, whatever, as long as it's related, and we'll answer the questions. And those are all recorded and kept on the group page, so you can always go back and watch previous ones.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the foundations trainings, where we discuss the foundational techniques and principles. And again, those are all recorded and on the group page, so everything you need to learn is there. And then we have the group manifestation sessions, which we hold from 2 to 4 times a week, where we schedule it ahead of time, and then people come in and we manifest with each other and for each other.
Well, it sounds very exciting. I have to thank Shelley for this. Like, it sounds really fascinating. Something that I think I may join you guys doing. 'Cause it sounds really exciting. Not that to say that my life is perfect. I could certainly use a lot of help in some areas too.
Well,
Um,
there's a lot of people who are there to help. That's one thing we like about the group, is people don't just come to the manifestations for the sessions for themselves. They come for others. They're helpful. If people are looking for information, where do I find this? People will post links and post pictures. How do I do this? People are there to help you. People aren't gaslighted for asking questions or raising doubt, or saying, why doesn't this work? We're there to help people learn this stuff really well. We're there to answer questions, and it's not just me. It's not just Lexi. It's the whole group of people that is really special. So everyone's welcome. Um, you know, we do a really good job of keeping out all the spammers and everything. If you're on any law of attraction Facebook groups, they're abundant. So we shut that down right away. But everyone else is welcome. Welcome to learn, welcome to ask questions, welcome to doubt, welcome to try other things. We've had people come, go, come back. We're just here to empower people, and we really do we're really creating what we say an LOA army to create change in our communities and the world. We had a group session for Australia when it was burning, and we didn't put out the Australian fires, but within 2 hours of that session was the first rainfall, which
really,
we thought
wow.
was interesting. And sometimes if there's a large event, we'll do that, but the more people we have, the more combined power we have, and the more we can change in the world, which is our goal. We have 7,600 members in the group right now. When we have 1 million, I mean, it'll be unstoppable. We'll do wonderful, magnificent things across the world. And that's my mission, to get enough people trained up properly to be able to create massive change for each other, for our communities, for the world.
Well, I can see that happening. I mean, I think that that's definitely what we need, just to be able to join in, get friends, and connect with other people. And I think that's I know one of the hardest things for me right now, because most of the people in my life they're not LOA anything, and they're just
Mm.
like a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety, and just being able to talk to people and find friends who believe the way that you do and help to change and make the world a better place, especially in these days. You really need that.
That's what we're doing. So it's power manifesting inner circle.
No, not again. You have frozen. Are you?
On Facebook.
Coming back.
These